Hello, sport fans. Mauricio here. Well, this is a start of a set of videos. I'm going to call it the command builder way of retrieving data, filtering data, saving data, updating data. The things I want every MIS 325 or programming student to know how to do. Have a tables in your database and then use a web page to interact with that and insert, update, and delete. It's one of the purposes or learning objectives of the course. So let me just, so this is a non-stored procedure approach. So all the code is in the web page. Okay, that's the main difference. So we're going to use all ADO.NET, ASP.NET objects, so please read the glossaries. And all the code is going to go in the stored procedure. That's one way of doing it. I would use stored procedures. That's a different way of doing it. So, well, let's just get started. So, let me just, I got to throw a lot at you here. So, so here we go. So this is a web page. So I went to a Solution Explorer, and I went to the folder I wanted, and then right-click, add a new item. And I added a new web form, and then I saved it, and this is what I got. Then I put a multi-view on here. So you drag a multi-view on here, and then well, you drag another multi-view on here so you can see. So you drag that on there, and then you have to open it up, and then you put views inside. So the first view was about, product one, or, dimension one. We're going to have products. Then you drag another view on there and open it up. And that's where you're going to put your controls on the views. Now I'll go, and the views are indexed. So I did put a multi-view and view 1, 2, and 3 here. And how do you get to the views? Well, I use these link buttons. So you just drag a link button out there. I like to hit tab between them. This also, by the way, could be an image button. And it can have cute little pictures. And actually, it looks pretty good. Just, if you had little images there, it makes a big difference in the interface, but I'm not going to do it today. So you drag these link buttons up there, and then give it properties, and then give it maybe a nice name. So if I was going to add LNK reports, and then on the text I would put reports, and then if you double click it, then to get to that view, you'd have to put the index number of it. So here's my 4 link buttons. I named them all. LNK products, LNK customers, LNK sales, link reports, and that's what they are: products, customers, sales, reports. And then, so those are my links, and then my multi-view is 1, so active view index is that's the one to show. So that means show index 0, show view 0. So there's a list of views for this multi-view object, and they're indexed, and coding starts at 0, at least inside. That's the default for Visual Studio coding. Any indexes start at 0. But that's kind of like the Dewey Decimal System. You go to the library, if you ever still do that. It starts at 0, not 1. So the first item is index 0. The first view is 0. Products is 0. And let's see what's next, etc. Customers. So, whoa. So that's just how you get to the view. And so a view, so I'll go ahead and run this, a view in browser. A view is a container. So if I click on my products, I see all the products controls and things I want to do, and customers. So I don't have anything there yet. Sales, and I don't have anything there yet. Fascinating. Well, I was trying to go to a view for reports, but I didn't have one, so I put it on the form, and now it works just fine. So go to the sales, go to the reports. So that's about all the interface I have for you. You at the top put some text and format font, and then you could change, some a font, then put some link buttons on there, and the link buttons go to the views. And that's all the link button does, although you might put some code, when you go to the customer's view, maybe show something. So you could put some code on there. I like to use regions to hide code, so my information overload and my brain goes down. But so we have a web page, and rather than have 4 web pages, products, customers, sales, and reports. By the way, reports, you can put a Power BI report in your chart, and there are videos on that on the channel. So I encourage you to do that. So you put your link buttons up here and put an extra line there. And so this first one is products. And so let's just go ahead and start explaining this code. So you turn it on, and what happened? It's got a bunch of products there. I didn't even do anything. It just all is there. How did that work? Let me explain it to you. So in the code, there's a INIT procedure. So how do you get an INIT procedure? So if I was just to comment this out, so I'll just put that there. So an INIT initialization procedure happens just once. It's just like you have a first impression. You only have one chance to make a first impression. So it's the initial thing that happens. So there's a procedure you can run. So how you get to it is either have to type that in, this private sub business, or you could use this way of doing it, lightning bolt. So chargers lightning bolt, and then on the right hand side go for INIT, and then it writes it for you. And so this procedure runs when the page, which is me dot, initializes. When this page initializes, run this code. So what code do we want to run when we start the program? Let's go see. So the question is, how did all this code get there? And so let's take a look. So this initialization runs once. So if you were to refresh your page, it wouldn't run that code. So it only runs when it's the first time the web page is rendered, shown for the first time. All right, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to be adding products to the products table. Hey, Featherman, show me the products table. So here's the my products table. So product ID is the primary key. So you right click that to make it primary key. And primary keys, this is pretty useful, has identity specification turned on. That means it's auto number. So and only the primary key can be auto number. So you make it a primary key, and then go down, and this is a little tricky. You have to be able to click on the right side to turn that to yes. Product name and varchar is text, 50 letters wide. Perishable is true false. That's a Boolean, true false. Numeric 82 for cost. That means it's a numeric value column, 8 digits total, 2 of them to the right of the decimal place. So 6, I guess that's 50,000 or 99,000. And, well, whatever 6 comes out to. No, I was wrong. 9,999 is your highest number, so it has to be less than 10,000. So 9999, so that's 4 digits to the left of the decimal place, 0.99, 2 digits. So none of our products can be $10,000. They have to be all less than $10,000. So you could just change it to a higher number if you needed to, but so 10 total, 2 to the right of the decimal place. So you just think about that a little bit. Sales price would never be more than $10,000. Inventory would never be more than a lot, 90. So 0 decimal places, so that would be, so 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That is a lot. So that's 99 million. So 8 digits to the left. So those are very wide numbers. Last sold is a date. Number times. So I'm talking about the schema here, the column names, the data types, whether you can have blanks in there. So what I did was for each of these running totals, number times sold, which we'll update later. So I'm asking you to make a products table and then save rows, and then we'll update it later, etc., etc. But I put a default value 0 for these 4 metrics. Default value 0. So that may or may not work. And by the way, you want to train your eye to this asterisk here. And then always, if you made changes, hit the save button. If you cannot save, then let me show. All right, let me just show it to you. So tools, options, designers, table designers. So if you get an error that says, hey, you can't make changes to the table schema, that's a security measure that now that you're the boss, you need to undo that security. So prevent saving changes to the table schema, we need that. So you take off that checkbox, hit OK. While we're here, text editor for all languages, text editor for Visual Studio. Now there's your word wrap, there's your line number, so go ahead and hit that, and it makes it easier to code. And so actually I am inside the database, so I'm inside SSMS. So gosh. So how do you get inside SSMS? You double click and you log in. And so if I were to connect, you would get this. When you would turn on, you would get this. And if you double click that on the interface, you would get this, and you just hit the word connect. And then you have to scroll down to find your. So currently we're in MF57. So you would have to find your database and right click new table. And then you just start typing stuff in. So that's how you make new tables. There's other videos elsewhere. So we made the products table. And we're displaying the products table when you turn the system on. And the code for that runs when you turn the page on. And so not only are we going to pass the schema to the web page, we're going to get the full product list. And that's running what I call general procedure. Most procedures run when you have a event, but usually button click event. So save a new product, that's you click a button. Button 3.click. But this procedure runs when the page starts, and we're going to call this general procedure, which you could just call from anywhere. So see you next video.